What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are, Stage 5, Tour de Zwift. This is the B ride, standard ride. Got someone sprinting out of the gates there, 11-12 watts per kg. This is on the Knickerbocker Reverse route in New York. So the full route's about 23 kilometers and 364 meters of climbing. It just takes us once up that main New York KOM in the reverse direction on those streets above the roads of Central Park. So have a good group here today, 330. It was cool seeing some other subscribers out there. Chris was here in the front group for a little bit. He actually won the race, so I shouldn't say a little bit. I was the one in the front group for a little bit. He stayed there. And then Mr. Maddie, we were talking in the chat beforehand, but it's cool seeing some faces I recognize. So New York is pretty famous for either being up or down, not a whole lot of flats, especially with that big climb once we get to those elevated roads. I've actually been away from Tour de Zwift for a little bit. This is the first ride of Stage 5 for me. I decided to do the standard mid-distance one. I skipped Stage 4. Just didn't quite fit in the schedule. I'll have to do that on the makeup week if they have one. I think a lot of these have like a week at the end with a makeup week. I'll have to check if they have one and try to make that one up. If not, I missed out. My last ride was on Stage 3, and I actually took it as kind of a Zone 2 ride after a previous race I did. So really the last time I made a video on Tour de Zwift was Stage 2, I believe. So it's been a while. We're back. Kind of jumped through a lead in there. Here we are, 5 kilometers into it. Still with the front group. I decided to kind of push at the start, see where that put me. This course is pretty flat for the first 10 kilometers before we hit that big climb. So decided to push with the front group. And here we are going up another hill. Again, not to the main climb yet, but just kind of pushing with this group and seeing where it puts me. It's been a lot of fun. So I've been away from Tour de Zwift, but definitely not away from racing. I've been enjoying those Evo CC race series a lot. I think those are generally in that like 20 to 28 kilometer range that I really enjoy. So it's been fun competing in those. And then the Flat is Fast series has been extremely fun, especially this past stage, the London Classique route. Yeah, having a lot of fun, trying to get better. I'm still kind of right in the middle of that category B to category C range. I haven't yet put out B power, but I've been joining the B races and Flat is Fast, and I think it is making me a better rider. So I might be joining those B races a bit more often, and maybe that'll be what it takes to just put me over that threshold into officially being a Cat B. And doing rides like this, just jumping on the front, seeing how long I can stick with the front group, I hope is making me a better rider. I think kind of what it's doing also is making me a better rider in kind of that 20-minute time range. I still don't really have the endurance. I've been trying to get in some Zone 2 rides, but when we start getting over 30 kilometers, that's when I start to bonk. So still trying to work on that endurance, although I've really become more confident on that 20-minute power and less in the last few weeks. So yeah, pushed up that hill. There was a split going up the hill, but there was enough people on the back of that split that we eventually catch back up with the front group and rejoin. So this is still the front of the race, still just hanging out. Feel like a bit of an imposter, but pushing myself while I have the opportunity until now. So this is now 10.7 kilometers. I actually just mentioned the group. I was like, thanks for riding, guys. Good luck up the climb, because I was on my limit here. And that's not where you want to be heading into a climb. So everyone's kind of raising the pace, and I know I need to monitor my pace here. This is a pretty long climb, and it gets pretty steep in sections. So I kind of slow down, let them ride off into the distance, and I'll just push my pace up here and see where that leaves me. I'm in 20th once I drop back out of this group, and unfortunately kind of cooked. So I start looking at the groups behind me. They look far away now, but they'll catch pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and skip forward. It was a lonely climb up. Now we're at the top. So went from 20th to 46th. wave to a lot of people on their way by. Again, though, just making me a stronger rider. I probably didn't belong in that front group for as long as I was there, but had fun, enjoyed it, and really paid for it on the climb. But again, just going my own pace and seeing where that puts me. This is definitely, this like 3 to 5 minute climb is not my strong suit. I like the punchy climbs of Richmond. I like the leg snappers, some climbs that are kind of like a minute and a half or less. Once we get in that 4 to 5 minute range, is where I really struggle to hold power. And what I found is I'm much better at holding power when I'm in a group. It's just something about that motivation of having other riders around you to really push you harder. The second I'm not in a group, mentally I'm still trying to push myself, but then I look at my power output and it's just not quite at the same level. So kind of an interesting mental game as we'll make our way down this climb, eventually find a group. So now sitting right around that 50th place range, just 800 meters to go. I found this group at the bottom of the climb and we kind of worked together for the last 6 or 7K. Looks like it's 8 of us total here. That power graph looks a lot better now. Kind of took it easy, especially into this last kilometer or so. Feeling a little bit better, at least enough to put it in a decent sprint. I have the Aero power up, which is perfect. I'm still going to give it everything I have. It's a bit of a downhill finish, so I'll start that sprint a little bit earlier than usual. And really nobody goes early. So we're here at 300 meters. I look around, no one's done anything. So I hit that Aero, kind of take a few soft pedals, and then I'll put in full power at about that 200 meter range. And I was pretty happy with this output. So I got up to like 968, around that 900 range. It's completely different when you're putting in power rested versus when you're putting in power at the end of like a flat is fast race or when you're in with the front group. I had some time to rest before I put in that sprint, so hence the bigger power numbers. Guys, this was a short one. Thanks for hanging in here. Having a lot of fun with Tour de Zwift. That kind of put me in the middle of the pack, but pushed early, had a lot of fun with it. Especially seeing you guys in these rides makes it a lot more fun as well. So I'll continue racing, continue riding Tour de Zwift and making videos and showing you guys what I'm up to. So guys, thanks for being here. And until the next one, this is Cadman Cycling. I'll catch you then. Bye.